So I received a word today from God after reading my devotions, or my Bible, I should say. And I honestly don't know where this message is going to end, but I do know that I feel in my spirit that God is telling me to share my journey, but today to just share his word. And originally two scriptures came to me, and then a third one just popped in my head, and I went and looked that up. And I just want to share it because there might be somebody that is in my position who is dealing with so much weight on our shoulders, from work, from friends, from family, from just life, like things that are unexpected, things that are expected, but you feel like it's out of control. And without continuing to ramble, here it is. The first scripture that came up during my reading, which was Psalms 32:8. And it says, I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over you. Now, let me just go into the second one. And shortly thereafter, and I'll show you the Bible that I'm reading from. I am reading from the Bible. The next scripture that followed that stood out to me was Proverbs 21:5. And it says, good planning and hard work leads to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. And so I'm going to let that one sit there for a moment. And then the last thing that resonated with me after reading those two, I'm like, God, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you, was Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Baby, I don't know about you, but if you have been praying and asking God for whatever that may be, these three scriptures alone will navigate any obstacle you have going on in your life, any desires that you crave to have. These three scriptures are all that you need with this instance. Not forever, not with everything, but these three scriptures should be the beginning of your journey. And for me, man, that is literally a conversation in itself. I am battling so much. So many shifts are happening in my life. So many things. I don't know. Am I doing this right? Should I do this? Oh God, I'm scared, but I feel like you placed it in me. I mean, the sky is the limit when it comes to our mind. My mind is literally taking me to a place that I know God does not want for me. It is literally having me tug of war with my blessing that I know God instilled in me and my unknown. I am afraid of the unknown. Wow. I think that's the first time I said that out loud. I don't know. But either way, I am afraid of the unknown. And every time, I'm not even going to say the devil, because at the end of the day, we have to take some accountability. I always battle the what ifs. However, after reading these scriptures, the what ifs, it doesn't matter. If you have faith of a mustard seed to, what did he say? Believe first. I will guide you along the best path for your life. I will advise you and watch over you. But all that you need to do, my child, right? He brings us to Proverbs 21:5. Is good planning, hard work will lead to prosperity. He's telling you, if you do the work and you do not take shortcuts, I will help you elevate. But hasty shortcuts will lead you to poverty. It's a choice at the end of the day. If you choose to shortcut in any way and not go through the process, trust the process. If you choose to not go through the process, you can't blame him, because he has set up a path. He has set these steps so that you can learn along the journey, so that you don't have to double back. I read a quote at work the other day. I hope I don't misquote, but it says, if you do it right the first time, without any shortcuts. You don't have to double back. And I'm like, okay, God, I see you. Because I've been talking, I've been praying, I've been reading my Bible. And I was like, okay, first I see this quote, right? I took a picture of it. And I'm like, wow, okay. Dang, that hit home. And I talked about it at work all day. I'm like, that scripture, it means something to me, but I don't know what yet. It wasn't until today. I think I took that picture last week that I seen this scripture and I said, all right, God, I surrender. I hear you. I hear you, right? And so then that's when I was like, man. Then he ties it in a bow. He's like, I've been telling you since Proverbs 3 and 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. He put it in a bow. He said, girl, I've been telling you this, but you've been choosing not to listen. But at the end of the day, just follow the 3 scriptures. I'm not telling you that there are no other scriptures to help you. What I'm telling you is to break the cycle, to break the chatter, to break the insecurities. Just start off with the first 3 scriptures. Me, I wrote my scriptures right here. These will be plastered either on my wall or on my computer, somewhere where I can see it every day, where I can say, hey, God specifically said, I will guide you along the best path for your life. I will advise you. Trust me, daughter. I will advise you. But you have to make the plan and you have to work. Anything worth having, you have to work for. You cannot always take shortcuts. And unfortunately, I can admit that I am always looking for shortcuts. But I've also noticed every time I look for a shortcut, whether it's the next day, a few months later, a few years later, as of right now, I'm having to double back. I no longer want to double back. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to plan accordingly as best as I know how, do research and like he said, and then put in the work. That's it. But before I wrap this up, I did mention that I will show you my Bible. I have several Bibles, to be honest. But first and foremost, oh, and lastly, this was the other thing. I said, God, you funny. Because within the last week, when you ask God for something, he gonna show up. Prior to, after I seen that quote at work, I heard a preacher in a short. And he was reading a quote that he heard from a book. And it says, small, consistent actions or changes, when repeated over time, can lead to significant exponential results. So I created me a screensaver on Canva. And I wrote that quote here. It's on my computer here. It's on my phone that I'm recording from. I make sure that wherever I am, I see that quote to remind me that, again, small, consistent actions or changes, when repeated over time, can lead to significant and exponential results. It all ties into God's plan. And before I wrap this up, this is my Bible. It is the 1 Year Bible Expressions. I got it off Amazon. I've had it for a little bit. And I'll be honest, I am about 2 months behind finishing this before January, but I'm okay. Because again, small, consistent changes. It doesn't matter how many times I stop. I have to tell myself, because at first I was like, forget it. I'll just start over in January. And I was like, no. What is starting over in January going to do when you can start today? So I just continue to read, because small, consistent changes. I'm battling with consistency and discipline, and this is helping me. Reading the Bible is helping me prove that I can too be consistent. And so I got this off Amazon. Originally when I got it, I think it was like maybe $40-something, but I know that so today that I think it's like $15 to $20 on Amazon right now. So I know it's pink, but men can read it too. But my ladies who a pink girly, my daughter made me a pink girly. It is worth it. So I pray that this message helps somebody, because I honestly feel like God was like, girl, yeah, I'm talking to you. And I was like, God, you always say, help others. And if you can talk to me in this way, I am going to share the blessing. So again, I hope that this message resonates with somebody and that maybe it can help somebody. And if it doesn't, I did what I was led to do. So until next time, remember Psalms 32:8, Proverbs 3:5 and 6, and Proverbs 21:5.